Does anyone else remember that 90s TV show called Unsolved Mysteries? Each episode scared the heck out of middle school kids who watched it, as host Robert Stack recapped stories about, well, mysteries that were unsolved, stemming from murders and often strange happenings. Even more recently, millions of people have gotten into the podcast Serial, proving that the unknown is something that society just loves to theorize about. And guess what? It's no different in the world of sports. From great plays to underlying circumstances or conspiracies, sports have left fans wondering just how or why things happen the way they do. We may never know the answers, but it's fun to at least try to uncover these unsolved sports mysteries. So today I've gathered a list of mysteries that are still revolving around in the NBA. So without further ado, let's jump in. At number 10, the reason for Jordan's retirement. Well, if you guys are a true NBA fan like me, you know about this controversy. Jordan chose to retire at the peak of his NBA career after 3 consecutive championships. This absolutely shocked the world. What was the specific reason? Well, according to NBA officials, it was due to his father's death and his unwillingness to play basketball anymore because of that. Some people thought that it was actually because of his secret life, considering all the gambling issues and scandals he was facing. No one knew what the truth was, but Jordan himself might know what was going on. But we, on the other hand, might not ever get to solve this mystery. At number 9, the mystery of the Knicks' number 1 pick. Back in 1985, the Knicks unexpectedly won the first overall pick. That same year, the NBA adopted the lottery system for the first time. At the time, 7 teams entered the lottery zone, and the then NBA president, Stern, randomly selected an envelope to determine the ownership of the number 1 lottery. In the end, the Knicks won this lottery, which was a precious opportunity for them, and they undoubtedly chose the talented insider, Patrick Ewing. Later, it was reported that the draft was shady and the Knicks envelope was frozen or folded. But with Stern's death now, this became an unsolvable mystery. At number 8, what spell Malone chanted when he took a free throw. Malone's free throw is very distinctive. I believe fans who have seen him know it. When Malone was making free throws, he would always be muttering something in his mouth. Later, many lip language experts also deliberately studied it, but they were not sure what Malone was talking about. Some people say that the reason why Malone made a free throw was because he chanted some weird spell, which is pretty hilarious if you ask me, but definitely an NBA mystery. At number 7, Dennis Rodman, the mystery of the skyrocketing height. As the NBA's most famous rebound monster, Rodman can be said to help Jordan become one of the most important helpers of God. He was won the rebounding champion for 7 consecutive seasons, which is the best in an era, but he did not have the opportunity to accept an invitation from a college team. In desperation, he had to go to the airport to work. But no one expected that Dennis Rodman, who was already in his 20s, suddenly rose to more than 2 meters in height during his 2 years at the airport. This then made it possible for him to join the NBA. As we all know, most people in their 20 years of old age grow to their best height, and I completely missed the best height development period, but Rodman grew about 25 centimeters in 2 years in this situation, which is like just under a foot, and he did not encounter any quote adventures. People would not believe it. At number 6, Wilt Chamberlain, the mystery of 20,000 women. As one of the more famous players in the early NBA, Chamberlain created an astonishing record of 100 points in one single game, which shocked fans so much, and this record still has not been broken today. But in addition to these, Chamberlain has another statistic that made him famous, that is, Zang 20,000. In 1991, Chamberlain publicly announced to the media that he had had a relationship, if you know what I mean, with 20,000 women. Whoa, that is a big number. Chamberlain was 55 years old at the time, and as soon as these words came out, they caused a lot of doubts in the United States, but they made many people suspect this as an impossible thing. You can do a mathematical arithmetic problem yourself, and you will know. However, since Chamberlain insisted that he does not tell lies, it's difficult for people to know whether this secret is true or false. But man, 20,000? Leave some for the rest of us. At number 5, how old is Uncle Moo? Uncle Moo joined the NBA in 1991. According to him, he was born in 1966. He didn't end his NBA career until 2009 due to injuries. It is said that his hometown of Congo in Africa used to calculate his age by 1 year older and cut a knife on the tree. However, due to the poverty of his family, he could not find this tree that he was talking about that would prove his age. He himself doesn't know how old he is, and when he retired from the Rockets in 2009, According to the official NBA profile, Uncle Moo's age was 43 years old, but during a physical examination, the doctor told him that according to his tooth structure, Uncle Moo's actual age turned out to be 50 years old at that time. Yikes! And number 4, the Magic Mystery. The Orlando Magic have not retired a jersey so far, and it's not that their star players who have played for the Magic are not good enough. The rookie O'Neal, when signing the second contract, the Magic ruthlessly lowered his price, and in the end, Shaq left the Magic to join the Lakers as well as Grant Chee. Well, Penny Hardaway, Howard, McGrady all clashed with the management of the Magic and left, and there is a more interesting thing to the story. Duncan once moved the idea of leaving the Spurs, and at the time the Magic were very close to getting Tim Duncan, but the team management refused to take the Duncan family charter flight together, and finally the transaction aborted, which is pretty odd, don't you think? At number 3, Kevin Durant's height mystery. People who often watch the NBA know that Kevin Durant's registered height is 6'10", but when he stands with LeBron James, who is about 6'9", he was a head taller than James. DeMarcus Cousins' registered height in the NBA profile is 6'10", so Durant's height has always been a mystery. I think he's 7 foot, but perhaps only Durant knows himself. At number 2, who actually poisoned Jordan's flu battle? In the 1996-97 finals, the Bulls and the Jazz met. The Big Three Bulls and Utah were on the court, and Mars hit the earth. The two sides were tied 2-2 in the first 4 games, which was inextricably played. Before the start of the 5th game, Jordan suffered food poisoning and collapsed. 10 minutes before the start of the game, it was uncertain whether he would play or not. But Jordan still endured the pain, went on the court with pain and scored 37 points, led the Bulls to defeat the Jazz, won the battle, and finally won the championship soon after. It's been more than 20 years, but who did it? Food poisoning is still unclear. But hey, we got the infamous flu game and the flu game shoes out of that one. And finally at number 1, who is LeBron's biological father? James's mother gave birth to him at the age of 16, and at the time his mother was a little girl herself, wandering around with LeBron, suffering from the sufferings of the world. James searched for his father many times after he became famous, but in the end to no avail. Only in recent years did the public notice that a man named Thompson Jackson looked very similar to LeBron. Rumor has it that he broke up with his 16-year-old mother on a date that year. In Cleveland, Thompson Jackson was an unknown person, but he might not have thought that James would become the NBA's greatest superstar ever, in the future becoming the league's #1 gold king, and at the same time have his own major business empire. Well, he sure will regret that one forever. Well guys, that's it for today's video. Let us know if you guys know about any other NBA mysteries that we might have missed in the comments down below. We hope you like our video. Thanks so much for watching until the end, and see you guys next time.